4 years back, the sharing economy was worth about $15 billion, according to PricewaterhouseCoopers. By 2025, that's going to be $355 billion. And that trigger is primarily going to be the effect of digitization, the effect of smartphones and the penetration with smartphones, but more importantly, the demographic dividend that we have, particularly in our country today. We're talking about 60% of Indians under the age of 30, right? And that's a massive demographic dividend to reap. What's also interesting is the Indian sharing economy, and particularly mobility, is very, very different from the sharing economy from the rest of the world. If you remember, e-commerce took off first in the US, then went to China, then came to India. There were multiple phases of e-commerce. If you look at ride sharing, if you look at mobility, or most commonly called taxi apps, it's growing together in all of these economies. In the US, it's growing at the same time. In China, it is growing at the same time. Far East as well as India, right? And that is where we think there's tremendous scope for innovation, right? In India, for example, there are two major problems. One, transportation is a genuine problem, and I'm 100% sure all of you would have been stuck in a traffic jam thinking about how to get from point A to point B, wouldn't have been able to get a taxi or an auto many years ago. All those paradigms have changed, but we have a larger futuristic problem. And that larger futuristic problem that we have at hand today is the fact that we have very limited capacities. Our roads can only expand so much. We cannot get more cars on the road, which means unlike the US, 70% of India is never going to own a car. We will never be able to reach that paradigm. But more importantly, there are two things that come out of it. One, how do we expand and optimize capacities of what already exists? अगर एक road पे auto rickshaw है या एक काली पीली taxi है, how do we ensure that that guy is running all the time? How do we optimize what he or she is made for? More than this, there's going to be more demand coming with time. How do we ensure that every vehicle that gets on the road over time is built with optimization from the word go?